Hello and welcome to another League of Legends video, and in this one, for all roles, all level of players, I'm going to show you 5 stages or steps that can help you master any champion. You know, approaches that actually help you improve permanently, can help you find a new main, or simply become proficient at picking up meta champions to abuse whatever it is you want to abuse. You know, like those extremely complex champions such as Amumu. The goal of this video is to talk about my 4 to 5 stage approach that you can use, whatever your goals, to truly improve at the game. So as always, if you like the gameplays, champion guides, the variety we're having with educational content this season, please do consider liking and subscribing. Join me on Planet 9 when the coaching resumes, as you will be able to sign up directly from the website and join my club. And now without further hesitation, let's begin. Now this really is a bit of a remake, a bit of an update, an iterative video of something I made many years ago, but the fundamental point to learning a champion is doing so in a way that, you know, goes into your long-term memory. Nothing I do in life, nor in League, nor on this channel is about shortcuts. Now I'm not going to quote theoretical philosophy of learning texts and bore you to death with mundane descriptions like all other videos and university courses out there, but suffice it to say there are progressions to how learning can be optimized by translating various teaching ideas to, yes, even League of Legends. So overall, we will move from theory to practice to application to mastery with a subcategory on mentality. And yes, that's how you say it, not mental. When I was growing up, mental meant something completely different, you know, more like the Joker and Harley Quinn. So with the context out of the way, let's start with theory. You must enjoy the champion you play. Either that or at least be motivated to learn it if it's a meta champion and you want to grind that raw LP, much like Voyboy consumed raw cookie dough when he found out Frozen Mallet was being removed. Now choosing the champion you want to learn, looking over the abilities, what class they are, you know, video below, I did that last week, and how you wish to play the game are obviously going to be step 1. Window shopping for champions as an Ari main chooses from the 27 skins. How often do you see streamers and pro players go to League wikis, look at the ability scaling, the numbers, the descriptions in full? Obviously, a lot of people just go straight into rank, but that isn't the best way to learn a champion if the game isn't exactly your job. A lot of times when a new champion is released, for example, we look at the class, we see what it's categorized as. Is it a mage? Is it a tank, an assassin? Is it a Samira? It's almost the first thing you look at along with the abilities when you actually are deciding whether or not you're going to play it. If the champion isn't new, there are bound to be videos of highly skilled players and one-tricks showing you the combos, the most efficient ways of playing that champion, and up until a few weeks ago, the best builds were also easily found. Now everyone's kind of testing, but the same principle applies. A classic example of champions with popular combo searches are Riven and Aurelia. You've got the Rengar, how do I combo one-shot with Rengar? And we've come a long way since 2014 when Ryan Choi was telling you to smash your face on the keyboard. But all of this is the theory. I want to learn this champion, I'm researching, watching material, you're gathering the ideas and the resources ready for your lab experiment. Pulling up the Mobify guide that isn't from a 1 million point silver player, knowing the scalings, what the abilities do. This is all learning the champion at a theoretical level. How to choose your champion pool for a season is a bit of a different question, and I will make a video for that at the start of season 11 officially, and then you would use this video on how to learn them. That's right, I've got more plans than Darth Sidious. Right, you've chosen your champion, it's Ornn, it's Volibear, it's Zyra. You're actually familiar with what the spells do by reading it and looking at the guide, watching YouTube videos, watching a streamer, but now we actually need to practice, and no, not in a ranked game. At the same time, we're not playing our first game in PBE and then making a clickbait video with 1000 damage and not actually understanding what the champ does at all. You need to familiarize yourself with the tools. However, in this plane of development, it's important to consider the environment. And as much as I enjoy my motion blur, let's look at this via a highly interactive graph edited by our new team member, Dawi, the one who does the thumbnails now. The environment could be learning on stream while 246 people and your mother watch you. This isn't exactly always stress-free, especially when you go gray screen and maybe she WhatsApp you while you're dead. You have the stress of the champion that you're learning, that's high, and the stress of the environment is high as well, especially if you are in a ranked game. This isn't really conducive to success or learning. For optimal success in ranked where the environment is stressful, you want to know your champion and have the stress of the champion be as low as possible. This can be because you have a million mastery points and you can play them in your sleep. Maybe the champion just is very simple. But at the end of the day, you've put in the time, you know what you're doing, and you're really focused on the game. When you are learning a champion, the stress is high, so we want the environment to be low. The stress of the champion can be quite high, especially the more complex they happen to be. And this is why if you are a new player, the reason we recommend things like Warwick and Annie is that learning them is way less stressful than learning a complicated champion, so you can quickly understand how to play them before focusing on the game. And in particular, the upside of those champions is that while you are learning a lot about the game, those champions allow you to learn many fundamentals quite easily within their own kits, which means the stress of learning in the environment is also reduced just because the champions allow it to be so. So if you're one of those people that likes to, first time a champion in ranked, that means a howler monkey's yelling at you in chat, in a ranked game, this doesn't really help. Don't throw the stress of learning a champion with practice alongside the stress of actually winning, because you won't learn anything. And the word choice there was deliberate, the stress of winning. You do and can learn more so from losing than by winning, from those mistakes that cost you the game, from the limit tests. Sure, eventually this will happen for you in ranked games, but that's about application, that's the next section. I know you're used to seeing high-elo streamers just take it into ranked, but that really is a different ballgame, as most know the champ, they've played with others who know what they're doing, and at the end of the day, they are there to entertain and inform you. You are watching them experiment, but that doesn't really help you practice. You can watch Tom Brady throw, but that doesn't mean you can do it the same way. Sure, it might motivate you to get out there and throw a ball at a target, and that's literally the point I'm trying to make. Practice tool into normal games, into ranked games. When you are mimicking map scaling, for example, on any champion, Aatrox, Kayn, what have you, as well as those combos, you take them into the practice tool to get a feel, explore the limits, increase HP and resistances of the dummy, try item spikes to see what it feels like to have one mythic. What does it feel like to have a mythic and a legendary? Try 2 items, 3 items, get a feel and understanding of your champion. Now, some are more complicated than others. You can take a Warwick and practice Q through combos pretty easily, and some simply are quite challenging to really replicate what you want to do in-game in the practice tool. To that end, the theory and practice sections might be shorter or longer depending on your champion. I can be a savant with my own mechanics, but if there's no team to engage on and nothing to peel, doesn't really help me. And so we move to application. Now, as a practice tool is a stress-free environment, what pushes the limits of your capability is increasing that stress, and the goal is then to reduce the amount, for lack of a better term, brain capacity used on the champion so that you can maximally focus on the game. The more games you have on a champion, the more practice tool time you have, the less stressful it will be for you to play the champion in a game. And therefore what we do is we increase the stress of the environment to really push our capabilities on the champion. Now for some people, they are willing to engage in maximum stress for both situation and champion. This pushes their learning, understanding, and in turn their proficiency. Obviously, if you are able to withstand it, it is the fastest path to mastery, but if it's too much, it becomes overwhelming and can hinder progress in the long term, especially those who are having a harder time picking up certain aspects of the game or mechanical abilities. For example, streamers and pros will always go straight into ranked, learn it on stream after reading what it does, because that's the nature of their job. They also live and breathe the game and have the best people around them giving them advice and helping them out as well. And even then, some pros just simply don't pick up champions very easily. And for most of you, it isn't your job either. You just simply want to learn, get better, and climb. So if I have to see one more gold game where the mid lane is first timing Akali, I'm going to fling feces. If you haven't pieced together what I'm saying, it's that you have to decide whether now to practice in a less stressed environment and then progress and elevate it, i.e. normals, ranked flex, ranked solo, or if you simply want to go full blast. Turbo ranked games, enter the way, lose your LP, get frustrated, maybe not learn anything, and then give up after 20 games. One of the players I actually worked with extensively in coaching over the long term would very frequently only get Mastery 7 on the champion before they took it into Ranked, or at the very least Mastery 5 and then buy a skin for them when they reach Mastery 7. Finally, we have Mastery. This is something that not everyone gets to reach. This is not something that everyone really gets to say, I am a master of this champion. This is when your knowledge of the environment and of the champion reduce overall stress significantly. You are always in the zone. The game slows down, you become the champion you're playing, almost literally like a world song video. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Volibear, right? You see the enemy's every move, the fact that it's a ranked game doesn't affect your performance, and you're able to let the necessary actions be in the front of your mind and be able to anticipate actions as well, to have that inference tracking of events. Once you've already achieved this within the game as well as within your champion, it becomes much easier to transfer those skills to new champions as well as new game updates. And this is what allows pros and high elo players to learn champions much quicker, adapt to game updates much quicker, they don't compromise any other fundamentals of their gameplay, although sometimes the hell prison of D1 is kind of disturbing, and a lot of the VOD review and coaching I do below Challenger kind of causes me to question many things. Now, while Mastery is the core fourth point, mentality is almost the fifth, but it's really a subsection, because Mastery doesn't happen without the right mentality and attitude. Consistent practice, consistent application, and only with deliberate practice, no going through the motions. Most of you coast through your ranked games because you think you are improving, you think you are doing your best to get better, but in actual fact, you're just here to try and win this game and then move on to the next one. You are simply living life moment to moment and you're not focusing on improving your game, your champion mechanics. If you actually did that, you will climb faster in the long run. Play to learn, play to improve, be ready to lose, and accept it as a teaching moment. Simply put, mastery will occur when you have repeated exposure to the champion, to the environment, and you keep theory crafting and pushing the limits of your champion such that you can navigate any matchup, any game state, any situation that arises. The key word there is repetition. It's as Bruce Lee said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." If you lay the foundation, use all 5 of these steps and stages to improve at the champion as well as the game, you will end up mastering more champions than others. And while they might say they have a bigger champion pool, do they really? Because 20 games with 100 champions doesn't really mean anything. Mechanically, focus intensely on that side. Don't button mash, be patient. Learn to predict the moves as they come, and then you can execute them with the precision of Certainly T's ability to create annoying champions to face. They might be fun to play, but I sure as hell don't like Akali. Keep your mouse close to your character so that you can move quickly, with agility, dodge the skill shots. All of this takes time to be perfect. Alright, I know that's a very loaded video, very unique and abstract way of looking at learning, improving, mastering champions, but I do believe if you put in the games, you apply all 5 stages, you dedicate yourself to the cause of learning your champion, you will be able to master them, you will be able to learn, improve, you will be able to climb. And if you enjoyed and learned something, please consider leaving a like and commenting and perhaps even sharing. Consider subscribing, joining me on Patreon, joining me on Planet 9. Stay tuned for a bunch more videos coming through this month. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.